Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Pokemon Blue, my complete Pokedex journey. So in my last episode, we got our first Pokemon, and that was our starter Pokemon Squirtle, which we named Wifey. I did a little bit of leveling off camera to get Wifey up to level 8. And that does match up with my challenge, which is to only level up my Pokemon 1 level per new route that I get to. So I leveled her up 1 time for Route 1, and then 1 time for the next route that we're going to be going to, which is Route 22. And we also got our Pokedex last time. You'll see that I've seen 4 Pokemon, and I own 1, which is our Squirtle. And then we also got a town map, which allows you to look at all of the different cities and routes in this game. So we are in this small area on the western side of the map for now, but as we progress through the game, we will get access to all of those other areas that we noted on the map. In this episode, we're going to start catching Pokemon because we have a lot of entries to fill out in my Pokedex if we want to get a complete Pokedex by the end of our journey. So we're going to be spending a lot of money on Pokeballs. And also, I do want to get some antidotes because there are some annoying bugs coming up in Viridian Forest. But unfortunately, we cannot buy potions. They are not available in this particular Pokemart. That is unfortunate because they would come in handy if we had them. So if you want to start collecting, you can start on Route 1. You can get Rattata and Pidgey down there. But you also can get Rattata on Route 22, which is over here to the west. The only Pokemon really exclusive to Route 1 for now is Pidgey. So on Route 22 over here, we can get Rattata. We also can get Spearow, as well as the 2 Nidorans, Nidoran male and Nidoran female. So I'm going to try to focus on getting the ones that are easily accessible in this version of the game, and then I will pick up the other versions in Pokemon Red. My focus is going to be on trying to catch a Rattata on this route, as well as a Spearow, and also a Nidoran female. And then I'll be doing a parallel playthrough of Pokemon Red, where I catch all of the Pokemon that are more common or even exclusive to Pokemon Red, and then trading between the 2 carts to fill out my Pokedex here in Blue. But we have gotten Rattata down to basically what we need him to be at, or it at, I guess. We don't know its gender at this point. So let's throw our Pokeball and see if we can catch it. It's very unlikely it'll break out at this point. So I do not have a nickname for this particular Pokemon, so if you would like to name this Rattata, please let me know in the comments section below what you would like its nickname to be. Otherwise, I am going to try to catch some more Pokemon. I'll meet you back here when I do. Alright, so we have encountered a Nidoran female, so let's see if we can catch that. And we did! Sweet. Another entry for our Pokedex. And this is another Pokemon that we do not have a name for. So if you would like to nickname this particular Pokemon, feel free to comment below and let me know what nickname you would like to give it or the family line. Alright, so now we have encountered a Spearow, which is a very good Pokemon. This is one I actually like to grab for my party pretty much every time I play this game. And I actually like to grab 2 because there's a trading sequence later in the game where you can trade a Spearow for another Pokemon. So I'll actually be picking up 2 of them. But this first Spearow we are going to name. And that nickname is going to be Yamato. So again, under normal circumstances, I would add Spearow to my party. But for now, given my challenges that I've kind of put on myself, I'm limiting myself to only 1 Pokemon before the first gym. So we're going with just Squirtle. Now a Pidgey. And we caught Pidgey. I had to actually go back to Route 1 to catch this Pidgey. And I do not have a nickname for this Pidgey, so again, if you would like to name this Pidgey and its line, please let me know in the comments below. But alright, those are all the Pokemon that are fairly easily accessible. I leveled up my Squirtle another level for the next route we're going to be going to, which is Route 2. And then I put all the other Pokemon in the box. since I am limiting myself to only one Pokemon for this first gym. Now, if you remember in episode 1, we could not progress past this point. There was an old man here who had not had his coffee. And so now we can actually progress, that we've returned Oak's parcel. He's had his coffee, and he feels great. That's awesome, man. I am so happy for you. And he wants to know if we're in a hurry. I mean, we're not really in a hurry, I guess. So he's going to teach us about catching Pokemon. That's good, because we don't know how to catch Pokemon. We have no idea what to do. So please, let us know what to do. No, I don't know how to catch Pokemon, or how to add entries to my Pokedex. Please enlighten me. So he's going to go into a little battle here with a Weedle, and he's going to show us the perfect way to catch a Pokemon, which is just to chuck a Pokeball at it. Don't weaken it, don't try to give it an ailment, just throw a Pokeball at it, and it works out perfectly for him. Good job. Now I think in Pokemon Yellow, he actually fails, and I think that's because there was a glitch associated with this animation that allowed speedrunners to do certain things and caused issues with the game. This generation is kind of known for having a lot of bugs and glitches, so I think they tried to fix that in Yellow. But now we're going to head north onto Route 2. This is the way to our next major city, which is Pewter City. And it also is going to take us to another grass area where you can catch a few more types of Pokemon. So you can catch Rattata, Pidgey, and start catching Caterpie and or Weedle. So those are the bug Pokemon. And this kid mentions Rattata. I like Rattata a lot. Rattata was actually a Pokemon favorite of myself and my cousin when we played as kids. It is really powerful in terms of its physical attack and speed, and it learns a really awesome ability pretty early on, which is Hyper Fang. So we used to really use Rattata a lot as our MVP. We'd especially teach it Dig later in the game, and we would just wreck the early part of the game. This sign kind of goes against that old man's stylings of catching Pokemon. Weaken them, and use ailments to try to get them as weak as possible to make it easier to catch. There's a hidden item in this tree. This is hidden item number 2. We get an antidote. In Viridian Forest, you can catch lots of different bug Pokemon, and you also have a very rare chance of encountering a Pikachu. Could this be a Pikachu? No. Although it is a Kakuna, which is not common for blue. This is the bug that tends to show up more often in red. We tend to see Caterpie and Metapod in blue. So interesting. I'm not going to catch it. I would rather get the experience points to level up one more level before we take on the trainers here in Viridian Forest. And I do want to make sure the battle animations are on. I turn them off when I do my off-screen stuff, like grinding and catching Pokemon, just to speed things up. But when I'm going to show off battles, like in trainer battles, hello item, we will be back for you in a little bit. I like to have the battle animations on just for the interest level of actually seeing what the attacks look like. But Viridian Forest is weird because, at least for me, the encounter rate always seems really low. And so I walk around in the grass a lot, and I just don't seem to encounter Pokemon very often, which sucks because I do want to catch a Pikachu after I finish the first gym as my second Pokemon, and it's going to take a really long time with how rare it is. Alright, so we have found a Caterpie, and we will catch it to add it to our Pokedex. No luck with finding Pikachu so far. Unfortunately. It's probably going to take a long time to find a Pikachu. I think they're under 10% in terms of their probability of showing up. Maybe even much lower than that, closer to 1%. I'm not 100% sure of that, if I'm throwing enough percentages at you. But the nickname for Caterpie's line is Lainey. Alright, so we are back. I am healed up. I've leveled up to 10, which is my additional level for Viridian Forest. And now we are ready to start the trainer gauntlet here in the forest. Now there are 3 trainers in Viridian Forest, and they all use bug Pokemon. They're not too difficult. They're in the level range of about 6 to up to about 9, I think. And so it should be pretty easy to kill all of them. The only real issue of concern is poison. Now the game claims that the poison attack, Poison Sting, only has about a 10% chance of poisoning. And as you can see, it almost seems like it's 100% whenever I'm playing the game. Always does it seem like poison gets inflicted. It really is obnoxious. It's almost as obnoxious as confusion, but not quite. So unfortunately, our Squirtle is going to take a lot of extra damage here from the poison effect. We'll just have to get through it the best we can, and we'll use an antidote after this battle. Now, I mentioned previously that I kind of have traditional teams that I use when I typically play this game if I'm not doing a challenge run. And so I do like to pick up a couple of the Pokemon here in Viridian Forest for my traditional teams, you know, on a more casual, regular run that I'm doing. And those Pokemon are Caterpie, because I like to have it evolve up to Butterfree, and that tends to be a pretty helpful Pokemon for a lot of the early to mid-game. It is one of, in my opinion, the strongest bug Pokemon in the game. Now I'll be going through the grass on the off chance that I actually encounter a Pikachu. You can't jam out if you're a Pokemon trainer. Okay. Why not? Why can't we jam? I like to jam, don't you? But another Weedle that is totally not going to poison me. So if I'm starting with Charmander, I like to pick up a Spearow, as well as... Oh hey, it didn't poison me. I'm actually surprised. As well as a Butterfree and a Pikachu. And I like to get Butterfree up to level 12 so that it learns Confusion. The rest of them I like to get around level 10 to 12 before I take on the first gym. Hey, level 11. Nice. If I'm going with Squirtle, I like to generally supplement Squirtle with, again, a Pikachu, a Spearow, and a Butterfree. And that tends to be my supplement as well for if I have Bulbasaur. With Bulbasaur, though, I like to level it up to level 13 so that it learns Vine Whip before we take on Brock, because that can be very helpful against the first gym leader. We're not going to have to worry about that because Squirtle does have Bubble, which is going to work really well against Brock's Pokemon. Squirtle is actually pretty useful against Brock, not so much against the second gym or the third gym. If you're looking for kind of the best all-purpose early game Pokemon, it does seem to be, in my opinion, Bulbasaur, which is pretty strong against the first 3 gyms. But we have burned through this battle, and we are now up to level 12. How do you like that, Bugcatcher? Yes, you ran out of Pokemon. You should have filled out your group of 6, but you didn't. Alright, you do that. They do level up fast. That is the benefit of bug Pokemon. They don't have the greatest stats, and they're not very effective against most things. But in this generation, they do level fast, and they're good in the early game. So what item is this? It is another antidote. Goody. Much appreciated, in case Weedle or some other Pokemon inflicts us with poison. Still not getting any encounters, which is crazy, but par for the course, it seems, when I go through Viridian Forest. So let's see if we get any here before we head down and grab that item ball that we saw earlier in the forest. And we get a potion. Nice. And there's one more hidden item up here, right before the final trainer of the forest area. And this sign is important. You cannot steal Pokemon, no matter how much you might want to, from other trainers. If you try to throw a Pokeball, here's our third hidden item right before the last trainer. It will say, you cannot steal Pokemon in battle. Catch your own Pokemon out of battle. So we have one more bug catcher here. And he has the strongest Pokemon, arguably, of the three, and that is a level 9 Weedle. Which is totally not going to poison us, right? 10% chance. Well, if it uses String Shot, it won't be poisoning us. So that's good. And then after we beat this trainer, we're going to actually go backward. So I'm going to go heal at the Poke Center in Pewter City. And then I'm going to go all the way back to Route 22, because you can actually take on your rival again if you head west from the grass on Route 22. And you can do that battle as long as you have not defeated Brock. I believe that is the trigger point for getting rid of the battle, is that if you beat Brock, then the battle disappears if you haven't done it. Yes, we found some good stuff. We don't have the item finder yet, but fortunately I know where most of it is. And no kidding, it is the most difficult battle for me, under my challenge rules, pretty much in the game. So I am very concerned about it. Basically because I'm limiting myself and how much leveling I can do, and also to just one Pokemon before the first gym. There is a particular attack that one of your rival's Pokemon can use in this battle that is basically a game changer and can completely shut down your Pokemon if it hits multiple times. And I'm sure many of you know what attack that is, and it is a horrible, horrible attack. But we will get to that once we heal up our Pokemon and get over to our rival. So our last little tip here for this episode: if you want to level up a weaker Pokemon, put it in your first slot, exchange it out for another one, and it will level up by getting experience. Alright, so we are back on Route 22. We are at level 12, and we are going to try this rival battle. We'll see if we can beat it. If we can't, I might just skip it. But I'm at least going to show it off. Hello. I mean, I was going to check it out. Yes, I don't have any all-capital badges. I think that's the line why they deactivate it if you've beaten Brock, is because then you would have a badge, right? But here we go. Let's take on our rival with his annoying Pidgey and its Sand Attack move. So if Pidgey uses Sand Attack on you, and especially if it uses it multiple times, you are essentially in a situation where you probably cannot win the fight. At least not at this level with only one Pokemon. Now if you have multiple Pokemon, you can just switch out to a different Pokemon, and that will deactivate the lowering of your accuracy. But I am getting incredibly lucky here, and Pidgey is not using Sand Attack. Please kill it, please kill it. Oh man. Hey! It did not use Sand Attack at all. Well, that just made the rest of this battle infinitely easier. But it is not uncommon for Pidgey's AI to use Sand Attack 3 or 4 times in a row and basically make the fight unwinnable. Because Bulbasaur here will use Leech Seed, and then he will start using Growl on you, and basically there is no way for Squirtle to inflict enough damage and actually win this fight. So we got really lucky. We're going to try to kill this Bulbasaur. Hopefully we'll get a couple criticals before he starts using Growl, and we can kill him as fast as possible. I can taste victory. We evaded the attack. Everything's coming up Millhouse. And we did it! Oh my gosh. Seriously, you don't know how much I was worried about that fight. Stupid, stupid Sand Attack. Yes, it's easy to overcome it with leveling and using multiple Pokemon. But for me in this challenge, not so much. But we did it. It's over. I never have to do it again. Yes, you have to figure out how to get past them. Maybe get all the badges like you're supposed to. We're not dawdling. We actually got to Pewter City already. Just came back to kick your butt. But let's go check out the Pokemon League and see how far we can get. And then in my next episode, we will explore Pewter City. And we will also start catching some other Mons after taking on the first gym leader. So what is going on in this gate room? Alright, so he's not going to let us pass because we don't have the necessary badge. So as always, viewers, thank you for the continued support. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.